Welcome to episode 16. 16 out of nowhere of A Troubled Shared, a podcast where two comedians try to heal the world by solving one of your problems, one of your troubles. Let's keep it on brand, one at a time. I am not here alone. My name is Johnny Cochrane. How dare I not introduce myself? I'm also joined by someone who goes looking for trouble on a regular basis. It's Twayna Mayne. How you doing, Twayna?
I'm all right, Johnny. How are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. I don't know if you... Oh, you are talking. It's my sound. Don't worry. You keep going, Twayna. How you doing?
Johnny, I am fine. Thank you very much for asking. I do have a slight problem with... It could be my hamstring. I ran for a bus, didn't I? I thought I still had it in me. I thought I could run for a bus from a standing start. And I got the bus. I'll say that. But it wasn't until the following day that I found out that I've actually pulled a muscle in my leg, just doing a light jog for the bus. So I'm nursing just a sore leg a little bit. Because then I had a massage and then I ran for a bus again and I did it even worse. So I also caught the bus the second time. I catch a bus. I've always caught a bus, but nowadays I injure myself in the process.
So when I said in your introduction, you go looking for trouble, someone who has injured herself running for a bus, you can't keep her down. She says, let me see another bus out here. And I love the fact that there was a little silent bragging there as well. Like, I ran for a bus, hurt my muscle. I caught the bus, though. Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Well done.
I want people to know that, though.
Yeah. Don't let buses get away from you.
The funny thing is, I live in London. We have buses galore. It's not like I live in the countryside. It's like you've got one bus an hour. You need to get that bus, or it's a case of 2 buses a day in some parts of this country. No, there's buses everywhere, all day, every day. Less late at night, but this was in the afternoon. So I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I actually ran for that bus because I didn't need to.
Well, you set yourself a target and you achieved your goals.
Yeah.
All I'm hearing is you're a high achiever. Well done, correct. You're willing to go through the pain barrier. We might even draft a CV on this pod of you, quite frankly. You know what I mean? Like if she sets her mind something, this is it. And even then, you know, we understand there are places in the country, like you say, if they miss a bus, it's trying to haul down a tractor. And you, on the other hand, had options, but sliding doors after all. And that Twayna may have no ailments, no injuries, but she was late. Who knows what could have happened on that bus? Maybe someone sat down next to her and pissed themselves and it leaked onto you. All sorts of untold things. But this one is healing. She's even letting herself have massages, but she's prompt. And we applaud the fact that that is the Twayna that joins us on the pod today. So, Twayna, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Heal some troubles? I mean, I would try and offer some solutions to that, but I'm actually endorsing it more than anything. I love the fact that your spirit is unbreakable and you will achieve your goals either way. So keep being you. That would be my advice.
Well, I will keep being me, but I'm actually sort of said to myself, don't run for buses at the moment. Let this injury heal properly, and then we'll see.
Sky's the limit. You might even run for a train next. Who knows? Let them hustle. Yeah. A tram, if you want to go to other places, maybe Manchester.
A rickshaw.
There you go. Not enough rickshaw-related commentary and banter, is there, on these kinds of pods? So absolutely right to bring that up. Well done, Twayna. Very much so. Let's jump into our first trouble, shall we? If it comes to people. Let me make sure. There we go. Right. I'm 35. My girlfriend is 59 and we've been together for 8 months. We met at work. Initially, I had no intentions of dating, but as we grew closer, it became obvious that there was something between us. Now I can honestly say that I've fallen head over heels for her and she makes me the happiest that I've ever been. I thought my family would be over the moon for me because it's no secret that I've been rather unlucky in love in the past. Yet they couldn't refrain from telling me how disappointed they were. My parents even went as far as to comment on the fact I'd never be able to start a family with her and that this relationship would ruin my future. To make matters even worse, it's very rare that we can even walk around in public without being judged. Very often people will stare and point at us in the street, and on a few occasions people have even shouted the words "Cougar" and "Toy Boy" at us. I'm so hurt by all this, and it's really starting to take its toll. Why is it that our relationship is such a problem for people? Twayna, what do you reckon?
It's a shame to hear about this, to be honest, because if it was the other way round, with a younger woman and an older man, it's what we're more used to. We'd celebrate this and go on, my son. But ignore the haters, mate, and get stuck in. It's all right, this kind of relationship. I've got nothing bad to say about it. Ignore your friends and your family. Do you actually want a family? Actually, do you want your own family? Maybe she's got kids. Maybe you can be a step parent to some children possibly the same age as you. I don't know. But listen, you think this has got legs? I'd stick with it.
Yeah, the legs don't go even when you're 59. They don't. They do pull muscles easier, as has been the case.
If you want to run for a bus with her, maybe maybe she'll get her in doing a light jog. If you see the bus, say to her, babe, start jogging now, and then don't just go straight out the traps.
Don't do it together. Let her have a head start. Yeah, there you go. No, I agree, and I do like that. You brought up the gender disparity between if it is a man. I mean, if it's a man who's 59 with a 35-year-old girlfriend, and it is a go on, my son, or the more extreme versions, people can become presidents and do extreme versions of this and remain presidents with very little critique coming their way, because men seem to get away with this shit all the time. Ultimately, it really goes back to, the ideals of beauty and whatnot, and the idea that women, once they get past a certain age, can't be deemed as attractive, presumably because it links up to reproductive capabilities, etc., etc. But, when you start hearing about there's no secret that you're unlucky in love, and yet your family couldn't refrain from telling you how disappointed they are. I mean, with family like that, who needs enemies? Do you know what I mean? Who's coming in there as a parent first thing they're coming out with, you're not going to be able to have kids, are you? It's all right, mate. You know what I mean? I'm just happy at the moment. We're just doing Netflix and chill. But no, we want the kids and ruin my future. How are they going to ruin his future? Do you know what I mean? His current future
do they think is... Yeah, go on, sorry.
His current future is being unlucky in love. You know what I mean? What is that the future that he's going to ruin by having a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Chill out. And maybe, like Twayna says, don't listen to your family on this one. You might have to grow a thick skin because of the ignorance of the world. But the reality is you should focus on what makes you happy out of this, mate.
Exactly. I mean, what kind of, not all people want to have family. Like I said that jokingly, but not all people want to have families. But you can have families in lots of different ways. You can become a foster. You can foster. Do you know what I mean? You're thinking families, kids. Well, there are loads of kids. Do you know what I mean? You can foster. You can do all sorts. Do you know what I mean? What's this kind of...
Not only can you foster, Twayna, but in about 10, 15 years, you'll probably have to be a carer. So you don't want too many jobs.
That's maybe what his parents are resenting, isn't it? They're like, oh, you're going to care for her. What about us? I think they sound like selfish people, these people, your family. I'd keep a wide berth and just hang out with your cougar.
Now we know who's been shouting at you in the street. It's Twayna. Oi, cougar.
What's that running
for a
boy? Get out of the way, cougar. I need to get that bus.
Don't listen to the Twaynas of this world, okay? You keep your head up high and focus on the relationship that sounds positive. I think we've sorted that one. Twayna, on to the next trouble.
My partner of 2 years told me she's been single for 12 years before I asked her out. Then 6 months into our relationship, she told me her last partner was the love of her life, and after they broke up, they continued to regularly have sex for 10 years. She also recently told me she still loves him, but is no longer in love, and that he is incredibly good looking. She maintains she was single for 12 years because they just had sex together regularly. I don't understand how this could happen. You are with somebody or you're not. I'm scared she will be unable to resist him and never really be able to love me. It's haunting. She has never said I'm good looking. She once said our sex is okay, but hopes it will get better, and that based on her own experiences, sex gets better the longer the relationship. Should I be worried? Yes. Carry on, Johnny.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, if you want to start counting the red flags right now, at this point, you could put them together into one big, parachute. The idea that, to be honest, mate, the sex might not be great, but it will probably be better when you break up and embark on a 10-year fuck buddy relationship with her. That seems to be her model. Quite clearly, she still likes this guy. And when someone starts chatting that kind of smack, I love him, but I'm no longer in love with him. That's actually just, it's a hollow platitude. A lot of the time, it really means, no, yeah, I am actually in love with him, but I appreciate we can't be together anymore. That's all that means. You are a rosette for taking part. The gold medal is this guy who she was regularly giving all that work to whenever he wanted it for 10 years. And by the sounds of it, it was probably him that broke up with her, and he had her hanging on, and she was up for it because he's good looking and good in bed. When she is appraising him in this way, it's very hard not to look at it and say, the feelings are lingering 100%. And this guy is out here looking for, silver linings. But listen, mate, there ain't many. It feels like you are being spun yarn by this young lady. And you're just, maybe you're happy being a background character, but I think you should absolutely be worried about it and maybe even decide to get rid of her. As I say, you'll probably still be able to have sex regularly for a while, so let you down gently.
10 years. 10 years.
10 years at
by
least.
the sounds of it. I think you'll get 10 years of sex with her, so maybe, like Johnny said, it will be... I mean, 6 months into your relationship with this person, she then told you that she'd been single for 12 years, but then 10 years of... But 10 years of that 12 years, she'd be having sex with her ex regularly, who she thinks is really good looking, who she's really fond of, to say the least, possibly, like Johnny said, is still in love with. She doesn't really think she never complimented you on your looks. What she has said about you is that the sex with you is not great, is all right. I don't know why you're still with her 18 months later after she declared this. I think you should be worried. I also think you should just leave her, because it doesn't sound like you're particularly happy, and it sounds like... I'm not really sure what this sounds like, really. It just sounds like a relationship of convenience, but I'm not sure for who.
Well, she's obviously tried to move on, and she's got, just a distraction. But
of a fit-looking bloke who's great in bed.
There's that good-looking bloke who, great over there. So I'm just going to get a run to the litter who's trying his best. And the idea that this is going to get, when she's going, what a way to ruffle your hair. Don't worry about the sex being mediocre to poor. It gets better over time. Certainly did with the last guy. I mean, every time he must, derobe, he must be literally going, I'm going to get there eventually. I'm going to, oh, mate. I mean, how'd you lift your head up with this one? It's a rough one. But I also believe that if you've broken up with someone, and I'm all for being honest, I genuinely am, but there's certain information that you just shouldn't really... There should be ways that you frame things. And if you're talking about your ex-partner who you've really had very little time out of it with, and you're saying they're very good looking, then that's too much. You're over explaining the situation. And one last point as well. This is the one thing I'll defend her on. I do think she is right when she says she's been single, because essentially she's just having friends with benefits. Like, I don't think she's lied on that front, but most people would understandably infer it. Like, they're not saying that if you've been single for 10 years, they're expecting you to have been celibate. But the difference is if you were having sexual partners, they're probably people that were transient, in and out, or maybe this person for a year. It's just flings. If you're having sex with the same person for 10 years straight, then that certainly is grey area. Grey area with a man who's incredibly good looking, who you just want to jump into the sack with. Do you know what I mean?
Can't say no to.
50 Shades of Grey area.
I will again. Reluctantly, Mr. Really Hot Stuff, Mr. Good Looking, I will go to bed with you yet again. Ugh.
and then you show up with your average looks and your poor
Yeah.
love
Bed
making
technique.
skills.
Yeah.
No, I think you should get. I think you should get rid of this person, because the reality is as you said, Twayna, if the good-looking guy shows back up on the scene and says, "Do you want to give it one more spin for old time's sake?" She's definitely going for it. Make no bones about it. So I would get rid and find someone who thinks about you the way she thinks about her
Who
ex.
thinks you're good looking and maybe is as rubbish as you are in bed as well.
Exactly. Right, here we go. On to the next trouble. My best friend is trying to launch a singing career, but just isn't very good. He started posting clips of his songs on social media and keeps inviting us to gigs. Do I tell him gently to rethink his plans, or just grin and bear it? What do you reckon, Twayna?
Oh dear. Support your pal. I mean, we all got dreams. Just go out there and go to a few open mic nights with him. He'll soon learn the hard way that he's not got a lot of talent. This will be over by Christmas. Do you know what I mean? Might go viral online because people think they'll people be like thinking this is a joke. This has got to be a parody, and he might get a secondary career out of it. But do you know what I mean? Just he's not going to be famous. He's not going to be signed to a record label anytime soon. We've just let him just live his life, whatever makes him happy.
This is when I think you have a business waiting for you, Twayna. You could be a hired gun to just come in and go on, keep up the dreams, mate. You're absolutely shit. You're not making it anyway. It's kind of quite timely, actually, because I was in the pub on the weekend and they had a karaoke there, and someone let me loose on the mic.
What did you sing?
A rendition of Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World later, and we're having new conversations. Someone put his hand on my shoulder as I gave the mic back and went, "Great job, mate." Now, I don't think that person's lying, are they? I don't think that person. So, yeah, maybe I'm a little biased in this situation, but maybe you're not the best person to judge whether your friend's an excellent singer. Maybe, actually, it's you with the problem and this person slipped through the net. Not everyone can be a Simon Cowell out there. Oh, yeah, how about you shut up? Because if there's an audience that find me palatable, the career is there ahead of you.
Can I ask a question quickly, Johnny, just to interrupt? So you were singing in the pub on Saturday.
Correct. Yeah.
Were you drunk?
Yeah.
Was the person who took the microphone off you at the end also drunk?
Well, I'm not going to keep answering questions, Twayna, at this point. I'm going to just start saying no point in answering that. I know leading question. I know my legal terms. You knew what you were trying to get at. We're not going to judge the sobriety on it of everyone involved. All you need to know is that the smoke alarms were going off because I nearly burnt the house down with a red hot performance. So we'll leave it there. But I think this comes down ultimately to whether you support your friend. Now, we used to watch X Factor, Pop Idols, all of it, and there would be someone. I mean, by the end, they had more mentally unwell people than Jeremy Kyle, getting wheeled out to crack some windows with their vocals, and there'd always be a backstory where they'd go, "Yeah, my mum says I'm amazing," and you're just like, "Is that fair? Your mum's your mum's being abusive." Your mum's playing vocal Squid Game right now, watching you die and enjoying it from a chair. So, I don't think I would stop short of encouraging it, but don't try and pour water on the flames, because as you said, everyone's got to have dreams. Life can be pretty dull and boring and unfulfilling sometimes, and if this person wants to try and go down this route, they just need to realize that there are other people more talented vocally who can sing Everybody Rules the World, who they're going to be up against. So they'll probably come up short, but keep on believing, keep on dreaming.
So maybe on the next series of X Factor, Johnny's getting through to at least the judges' houses face of the show. So it's when they go for the initial rounds of the singing, then it's like judges' houses. That's where we'll see you at least to there, probably in the final, actually, is what you're saying now, Johnny. You'll get through judges' houses easily. You'll get through all the rounds, and then you'll be in the last 2 or 3, the final episode, and probably get signed.
Wouldn't do that because I don't want to stay at Simon Cowell's house. Shifty.
Okay.
So, but yeah. Oh my goodness! I don't want to stay anywhere near Louis Walsh, quite frankly. I mean, goodness, we'll wait for his names to start showing
the
up.
boys' own stories. Yeah. For
The
legal
price to be
reasons,
paid.
me and Johnny are going to say no more on Trouble Shared about Louis Walsh.
Yeah. We'll leave it there, and we'll wait for his name to start getting released in some
Mandelson,
file
Epstein
dumps.
files, but we're also allegedly. Just say
Allegedly, who
allegedly.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, let's tighten a bow and just say I put in a wonderful vocal performance on the weekend, and could win the X Factor. Moving on, here's the next trouble.
My boyfriend is 52 and I'm 38. We've been together for 18 months and are trying for a baby. The big cloud on our horizon is his youngest daughter, who is 22. Although my boyfriend separated from the girl's mother officially 2 years ago, and I was not the cause, she has decided we are her enemies. She lives with her mum, who still pines for her ex and still only listens to her mum's side of things. She ignores me on the street and comes over at 7 in the morning to berate her dad and sends him horribly accusatory emails. She's jealous of me and tells her dad he's in an abusive relationship, but the abusive behaviour is from her side, not mine. I've done nothing but try to make her feel welcome in her house. I'm not sure what to do in this situation anymore.
Oh, this is a tricky one, isn't it? I have experience of situations like this where the husband's moved on, and not me personally, but I'm aware of those new relationships, and kids from previous relationships just cannot accept it, and it's led to massive family feuds and stuff that have lasted as well. So sympathies about this general situation. And it's a weird one, isn't it? Where it's like she's 22 and the lady in question is 38. It's only 16 years difference at that point. Not exactly twinned in age, but certainly closer to her age than her mum and dad's age, that's for sure. So it's a weird situation. Obviously, this person's going to have to try and placate the daughter who's going to be in the dad's life. But really, you've got to be looking at the dad being able to corral his daughter, because she's going to care a lot more about what the dad says rather than you, who are being positioned at least as the woman on the side, the late entry that's rocked her life. But at 22, I would also say grow up a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like if your parents have separated and you're 22, get on with it. And if your mum's upset, like as long as it wasn't an affair or there was abuse, that happens, and you have to grow up. Like, it's not always going to be nice for everyone, but it sounds like this person at 22 is throwing her toys out the pram. So a little bit of sympathy there.
I think there's a bit of a crossover in time, though, because she said she's been with this guy for 18 months, and she said her boyfriend officially separated from the girl's mother 2 years ago. It's not a lot of time there, really. It all just feels like a lot's happened in a short amount of time. I'd sit down with this young person and say, stop coming around my house at 7 o'clock in the morning. Enough of this shit. Do you know what I mean? Try a bit later. Try 9:30. Do you know what I mean? But no one to stop these early morning sort of berating your dad. No one wants to be shouted at the crack of dawn just when they've just got out of bed. But on a serious note, just sit down and maybe just decide as a family what you want to do together. Do you know what I mean? It's like, look, we're trying for a baby. We'd like to get on as a big, what's the word? Merged family. What's the word?
Blended family.
As a big blended family where everyone gets on as best as possible. We're going to be in each other's lives for possibly the rest of our lives. Let's try and get on here and stop listening to your mum.
And there is always the opportunity to go scorched earth on her, isn't there? Because when she does start knocking on your door at 7 in the morning, you could always shout out the window, "Oi, can you keep it down out there? I'm trying to shag your dad." You're ruining the motion. I'm trying to find your new in-law, your new brother or sister-in-law. Yeah. So keep it down, because I'll be done soon. And I tell you what,
he's 52. He's not, he's not got the energy that he had a few years ago. Not that I know that much about him from a few years ago. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just say, look, you're ruining my flow. Or say, you could shout out the window as she's banging on the door. You couldn't run to the chemist and pick up some Viagra, could you? Because
Yeah.
your dad's struggling, 52 years old. You know how it is. And as for those emails as well,
Who sends an
you know,
email?
yeah, accusatory. Literally, get her email address and then sign her up to all sorts
Yeah.
of dark, just crazy nonsense on the internet, and just have her inundated with emails suggesting that she's won the lottery in an African country, or she just needs to sign up to this. Basically, phishing scams left, right, and centre,
I get
and
sent
that should slow down her email flow.
I get sent Domino's Pizza in Northern Ireland keeps sending me 50% off pizzas. I've never been to Northern Ireland in my life, so do something like that.
And all I need you to do, Twayna, is fill in your credit card details, and then we will stop sending them. Okay? Goodness
Right, I'll
sakes,
do
you're
that.
too
I'll do that
stubborn.
after. Yeah.
Right, next trouble. My girlfriend moans to me. Let's start again. My girlfriend moans to me constantly, to the point where there's very little joy in our relationship anymore. We've been together for 2 years. At first, it was great, and we couldn't get enough of one another. Now I know her, and I've met her dysfunctional family. I know how difficult it is for her. Her dad is an alcoholic, and her mother has been sectioned twice. She feels responsible for her sister, who's 15. I love my job, but my happiness after a great day disappears when she offloads all her worries onto me. She's a part-time hairdresser. I'm 22 and she's 20. We hardly make time for a kiss and a cuddle, never mind sex. She saps the fun out of everything at the moment. I don't know whether to end it with her. I feel like her counsellor. What do you reckon, Twayna?
Charge her £75 an hour and say to her, just keep telling me this shit. Just monetize it.
AI proof. It is.
Yeah.
It's AI proof that get into counselling. Yeah, if you're doing it anyway, soft launch into it.
Probably charge her a lot more, but as an introductory offer, £75 an hour. I think it's a lot more, but I just think, you'll probably be doing it whilst you're in bed. So, and you'll have your pants on, so you probably can't charge more than that. But yeah.
Definitely got your pants on, because they don't even have a kiss and a cuddle. Never mind sex. I love the way he says never mind sex as well. And to be honest, I mean, not that, we can tell everyone how to live their lives, but at 22 and 20, if you're not having sex with your boyfriend and girlfriend, like, that's what you do at that point. Do you know what I mean? The longer term kind of planning and whatnot is for people at a later age, you'd like to think, where they basically, I do have sympathy for this person, because it's not obviously the person's fault. He's had a very tumultuous life, but it is meant to be a bit of fun. And if all you do is just come home and just hear someone bleat on, it does get a little bit like, oh, okay. Because just like a counsellor, counsellors have to go to counsellors to unload all of their stuff. And you ain't getting to unload the stuff that you're hearing. So it's a kind of a one-way thing. And I do feel like unless this gets, someone gets to the bottom of this, it's probably going to lead to you. If you don't break up with her, you probably just find someone else, maybe even while still being with her. Because I do think that relationships, they can't always be fun, but there's got to be a bit of fun there, and maybe, she needs to find a way of managing her life and her troubles. But
maybe, like, on a serious note, recommend counselling. Do you know what I mean? Because you could leave her. You might go. You're still young. You're both still young, but you might be like, this is all too heavy for me. I'm going to leave her. Cool, fair enough. Find somebody else who has less, of life's baggage. But this young woman also sounds like she needs some help. Anyway. Do you know what I mean? She feels responsible for a younger sibling, and her parents sound like they've got their own issues. Do you know what I mean? So she's like, do her a favour anyway and recommend that kind of stuff. And you might save your relationship. So,
I do, but I do think that, and I know, people who get like this, where you end up in relationships where you are more of a carer for them, like, and that's not really the ways that these things should be built. It's not really If all you do is, just care, and there's not the other aspects of it, the relationship's not
sex.
working. No, I mean, come on, mate, you gotta be getting some action at this point. You have to. And if you're coming home and there's more moaning than sex at 22 years old, you've got every right to say, and now I'll do you, quite frankly. I'm still allowed in nightclubs. I don't feel out of place in them, I'm not having this all the time like I'm on a crisis line. So, either become a counsellor and make it your day job, and then, mates rates with or without her, and or maybe express to her that if it carries on the way it is, you're going to be looking for some new action that involves some action. But there we go. I think we nailed that one, Twayna. Are we on to the next one?
One of my best friend's boyfriends broke up with her 18 months ago after 12 years together. She was utterly devastated. Since the breakup, she's been going out clubbing several times a week and every weekend. I am one of the few in her circle who still indulges her and try to go out with her as often as I can. The problem is I don't enjoy the party lifestyle anymore. I thought it would be a phase that would wear off, but a year and a half on, she continues to go out all the time and invites me on most occasions. I don't want to be the party friend all the time, but if I say anything, I fear I will lose her friendship. How can I tell her without losing her?
Well, I think you've put a serious shift in, haven't you? If you're talking about 18 months worth of going on the absolute mad ones, nights on the tiles, to say at this point, listen, even when you think about middle distance running, okay, there's always someone who might go out as a pace setter, and it just keeps the rest of the crowd moving. But at some point, that pace setter is never expected to win the race. They hold their hand up and go, have a good one, guys and girls, I'm done.
And then they run off.
Out of here. And they're in the showers, getting warmed, in the spa, getting sorted out. Great. I was never here to run 5,000 meters. I was here doing 2,000 at a decent pace. That's what you've done. Been out there, grinding it, out on the tiles all the time of year. But at this stage, if you want to start setting records, nights out, loose lifestyle, go for it. But me, I dig Netflix and cups of tea. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. And guess what? If she's not interested in being your mate out of that, get rid of her anyway. I'm sure she'll find some fast and loose friends in her new lifestyle. But this is not it for you. You've done everything you can. Hold your hands up and say, no mass.
I agree, Johnny. Yeah. Just tell her, she'll understand. She'll be like, whatever, I'm meeting so-and-so down the club anyway. So-and-so's got some pills in, don't really need you anymore. After 18 months, she's probably made loads of regular mates. Where are you going clubbing? Didn't even know there's any nightclubs in this country anymore. Do you know what I mean? Where's all this happening? Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. She won't mind. Maybe go out with her every once in a while just to check that she's still alive. But yeah, just go back to your own life and sit on the sofa and chill out. She'll understand. Be there for the morning. Be there for like the Sunday morning or something. Make her a fry up. Tell her to come round to yours for, a cup of tea and a bacon butty.
And everyone knows, on the Sunday morning, that's when your life starts falling apart anyway, and you question the choices you've made. Do you know what I mean? And you can be there, like you say, coming around with your avocado on toast, going, I feel great. Yeah, I might get a dog or something like that. You know what I mean? Building solid foundations while this person's trying to sweat out a hangover. Twayna, I'm here to tell you that nightclubs do exist.
All right.
And if we talked about sliding doors, if you had missed that bus, maybe there's a reality where your day would have spiraled out and you'd have ended up reaching for the lasers till 4 a.m. You don't know, they're there. But you're committed to your lifestyle, and that has kept you out the nightclub. So I respect that. But yeah, I think we've sorted this one as well. Just literally tell your mate, I've done my shift. Now, if you want to keep having it large all the time, find someone else, and I'll be around Sunday morning. But if she ain't signing up for that, she's not worth being your mate. Right, so that's it. Another episode down. 6 of your troubles sorted. We will be back on the next episode, seeing if Twayna's leg has healed up, because many other people will not be able to sleep throughout the week for fear of it. But we will be back with giving you guys an update. Anything else from you, Twayna?
No, Johnny, no update. Well,
We-
nothing at the moment. There will be an update.
Okay, well, all that's left for me to say, remind everyone, is a trouble shared is a trouble halved. See you next time. Bye-bye.